Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Destroy Duchenne podcast. My name is Stacy, and I'm the founder of the nonprofit organization Destroy Duchenne and the host of the Destroy Duchenne podcast. Today, we have with us Paul.
Hey
Welcome,
guys.
Paul. And so Paul also suffers from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and it's going to be interesting to hear his story and learn all about him today. So, Paul, where are you from? Let's start off with the basics. Where are you from? How old are you?
I actually grew up in Toronto, Canada, and I'm 26.
26. Where are you located now?
I live around Ontario, California. So
Nice.
yeah,
It is. Yeah, he just coming from all the Ontario's.
yeah, that's the yeah. I remember when you messaged me once, you thought which Ontario, but I was
Yeah,
talking about California, man.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, so you're 26. So let's learn a little bit about you. So what do you like to do, right? What is your interest in life? What is your passions?
I have a lot of passions, but I think the main passion right now is actually I actually like speaking about my disability and helping others realize there's you can enjoy the most of life no matter what life throws at you. And I think that's really one of my passions in life. And another passion right now is I love like web design. And so right now I'm practicing like how to make my own websites and all that. And so that's those two passions are basically what's keeping me busy at the moment. Like I just graduated from college, and so I've been looking for ways to spend my time well during this time, and develop my skills. And so yeah, those are the two things I would say are my passions.
Okay, so you like to speak and all that.
Yeah.
What did you study in college?
I just graduated with a degree in business administration. So yeah, that was very interesting.
Okay, okay. So what? So I've seen some of your stuff. So you do a lot of speaking, whatever. Tell us about the experiences with that. Like where do you speak at? Who do you speak to? And specifically, what do you speak on? I know you said a little bit about disability and stuff, but
Yeah, like usually I usually speak at like school organizations, like the different clubs and all that. And so yeah, I usually talk with like people around my age, people that are college aged, and just kind of just provide like I tell my story, and I think it provides both disability awareness and like kind of like a challenge to dream big, like you said, like you have to live ambitious. And so that's what my goal is through my speaking. So
nice, nice.
yeah,
Yeah, stay ambitious. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, right there.
Yeah. No, you don't want to. I'm real big on that. Like, you don't want to ever um when you don't have ambition in life, I feel like that's when you really get down in life. That's when you're not really happy. But it's like when you're going after things,
Yeah.
that's when you come to life, and that's when life gets fun.
Yeah, I agree, yeah, with that.
Okay. So what's your favorite type of music, movies, TV shows, books?
Yeah, I really love like any kind of rock music with a lot of drums in it. Yeah, those are my favorite kind of songs. And so I also like like pop music, like The Weekend and all those kind of music
Mm.
too. And so it's just, I think, whatever music just that keeps me going. And I find that like any kind of rock, yeah, it's pretty good with me. And for TV, I haven't watched too much TV like generally. So I usually keep myself like busy with like reading how to since I'm into web design. So I usually read into those kind of stuff,
Mm.
those kind of books. Yeah,
It sounds like it sounds like you're kind of like me. Like I like to read for a purpose, right? So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't like to read books just for, fun. I mean, I guess the fun is getting the knowledge, so that's what's fun to me about reading. But no, I always like to read a book with the problem I'm trying to solve. So whatever that problem may be, that's what I'll probably read the book on. or what I want to become more knowledgeable in. That's what I'll read the book on. So it's always reading for a purpose.
Yeah, I think that's how. Just for me, I think living by purpose. I think that's what I do in everything I do. Because I feel like if you don't live without a purpose, I think it gets hard. And so I think, that's why just like I read for a purpose, I also live for a purpose. So
Mm.
that's very important to me too.
So speaking of that, I think that's a really interesting answer, right? What would you say? And this is a hard question, so, but I think
Yeah.
that you have an answer, and that's why I'm going to ask you. So, what do you think that your purpose is in life?
I think my purpose is to really, impact others, help others realize that no matter what happens, life can really be amazing. I said this many times, but I think that's really important that you make others realize their purpose, not just mine. So I think that's how I would say that's my purpose, helping others find their purpose.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So you're a man of impact. You're a man of impact. You want to impact other people's lives. I like that.
yeah, I hope
That's a
so.
good thing. Have you ever heard of Simon Sinek?
Simon, oh yeah, the one is the what? Answer the why first, right?
Start with why. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't know. Some of the stuff you're saying kind of reminds me of what he talks about a lot. So that's why I ask. Start with Why is a great book, though. Simon Sinek's a great guy. Really,
Hmm.
really like him. Speaking of role models, do you got any role models? Any people you look up to? Any people that have influenced your life?
I think it really is got to be like some figures in my life, but his historic figures would I think it would be Martin Luther King Jr. Because like ever since I heard him speak, I've always admired what he stood for, and I just kind of want to be who like what he was, to the African American community. I hope I could be that towards a lot of people. And another role model, I guess, would have to be my dad. He passed away, but I think his legacy really changed how I thought. Like before my dad passed away, like I really didn't have any ambitions. But after he passed, I realized, life is so short. So, I had to make the most out of every day. So, yeah, those would be my two role models.
Mm. So your dad's a real big influence on your life, then.
Yeah,
Really,
definitely.
really shaped you with that ambition. How did your dad how specifically, like, what are some of the memories you have with him? Like, how did he make you into who you are today?
What he believed is that he made me believe that, even though I had a disability, I could do whatever I put my mind to. And so I think he really helped me with that. Whenever I wanted to give up, he was always there to, let me know that, I could keep going, as long as I, worked hard and everything like that.
Mm. I really like that, and I really respect that. That's great that you had a parent like that, and I think that your dad, for anyone that's listening, that's a great role model for the whole Duchenne community and really parents in general, right? That you need to
Yeah.
believe in your kids. You need to push them to be ambitious, make them believe in themselves. So I think that's a really great thing. My parents are the same way. Um,
Yeah.
you know, but that's a really good thing. Um, okay, so this is a really serious and a very important question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what this question is? I feel like you heard this before.
Is
No,
it like how did I find out I had Duchenne?
no, no,
Is that
no,
the
no. We're not
question?
there yet. We're not there yet.
Okay, okay.
My serious and important question is, what is your favorite type of food?
Food. I gotta say it's Italian food. Like
Italian. Okay.
yeah, anything pasta.
Okay.
That's gotta be it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a pasta guy. I don't know what it is. I know a lot of people love it. I don't know. I never really got into it, but
Yeah.
yeah. Do you got a favorite type of sauce or anything that you like to do with the pasta, or just
No, I just like anything pasta, like chicken pasta, Alfredo pasta,
nice, nice, just
whatever it is.
pasta?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Favorite restaurant then?
Favorite restaurant? I don't really have one. Like, yeah, it's just I like my mom's home cooking. Like
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
cooks a good pasta. So
Nice, nice. Okay,
yeah,
okay. All right, that's good. That's good. Any desserts?
desserts. Yeah, that's not my thing actually.
No, no desserts. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right then. Let me see. Let me see. I guess let's move into Shane now. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, when did you find out that you had Duchenne?
Oh well, the way I found out was like I went to the doctor like in seventh grade. No, not in seventh grade, second grade, and then that's where I found out. I had Duchenne. Like I think they like they had like a blood test, and after that they called my mom, and then we had to go to the doctors, and then that's where I found out. But when I was 7 years old, I didn't understand you know what what it really meant. I thought it would just be like temporary, just a temporal thing. But obviously when I grew up, realized like I couldn't play sports like everyone else. I think that's when I really found out.
Okay, so like when you
Yeah.
started to understand what the disease really meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the harder part.
Hmm.
So like during your childhood, right? You fall on the floor a lot, not able to keep up with other kids, all that stuff, or
Yeah.
what was your
Yeah. Like,
experience like with that?
yeah, it was pretty tough, but I think for me, like I was blessed enough to like get all the exercise I required. Like swimming. That's very helpful, and so I think that helped me. But it was really tough because there was many times that like I would fall really hard, and it would hurt. Like I'm pretty sure you experienced some of that too, and
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I
yeah,
remember one time I fell on the concrete and I got a big rock in my knee and it hurt so bad. I still remember
yeah,
it. It's all bloody and everything.
yeah, yeah. It's
But you know what's so cool, right?
yeah,
About Duchenne, in a way, right? Is
yeah,
every time that you fall, you literally get back up. And it's like symbolic for like the mindset of people with Duchenne. It's like we always keep going. So like you fall on the floor a lot, but we always
yeah, yeah.
keep getting up over and over again. And so
Yeah,
that's what's
definitely.
pretty cool to me about Duchenne.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you go into a wheelchair then?
I got into a wheelchair when I was 12 years old. Yeah, it's just I remember like yeah, like I really couldn't like I tried to get up from my seat, and then and then I remember like walking to the car, but my mom had to help me because my legs hurted so bad. And then after that, yeah, I went on a wheelchair, and so yeah, it was yeah, I think it was kind of tough, at that moment because I realized that I wouldn't be able to walk again. Like yeah, that was tough at first.
How did you take that, right? So everyone takes it differently, is what I'm noticing. How did you take the experience of not being able to walk again? Like were you sad about it? Were you just kind of, yeah, it's whatever? I mean, did you cry about it? Like, what was your experience?
I think I was just really angry because when I was in a wheelchair, like people would stare at me, and so I think that was the toughest part because I'm pretty sure you experience that where like you go into a room and then everyone's looking at you, and so yeah, I didn't like that at first, and so that was really yeah, that was
Yeah.
really tough. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, I used to, the judgment is what you're talking about. Yeah, you're used to
yeah,
all the people staring at you, but now I'm a public speaker. Now I'm used to people staring at
yeah,
me.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
that's funny. But okay, yeah. So that's definitely one of the parts that people don't see is that yeah, when you're in a wheelchair, you get a lot of extra attention that we don't want.
yeah, yeah.
We don't want the pity. We don't want that stuff.
Hmm.
So, um, okay. So that's how you take that.
Yeah.
What do you think that you'd be doing right now if you didn't have Duchenne? Like, let's say that you didn't have the disease at all. What do you think that you'd be doing?
I really think I wouldn't be doing anything. Like, I think because because of Duchenne, like I think I got more ambitious. I think yeah, that's the interesting part about it. People will say, some people would say, you live such a better life, but I'm not exactly too sure on regarding the ambition. Because there's a lot of people without Duchenne where they don't have any ambitions too. So yeah, I think I'm not sure if I would be as far as I am today.
That's so interesting, and I want to push this further because I'm real into ambition and going after things. Why
Yeah,
do you think Deshane has made you more ambitious?
I think what made it really made me like that is realizing I don't have long to live because people with Duchenne, their lifespan isn't as guaranteed as other people, and so I think that kind of pushes me to that any day I could I could pass away, and so I had to make sure that I make the most out of every day because with Duchenne, like if you get the flu, if you get the cold, and that could be your last could be your last day, so you really don't know, and so since I don't know what's ahead of me in the future, I need to make the most out of what I have now.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. So that realization that you're not gonna live forever has made you more ambitious, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mm, mm. I really believe in that. I really, really believe in that. I think it's important to think about, no matter if you got the Shane or whatever. I think it's
Yeah.
important for everybody to think about death, which may sound morbid, but no, it's like know that you're gonna die one day because then you'll appreciate the time that you have here and you'll make the
Yeah,
most of the time that you have here. So
definitely.
yeah, when you think that you're gonna live forever, you're not you're gonna waste your time and you're not gonna be as grateful um, for the time that you do have, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to think about that from time to time. And so it's a really interesting answer. So speaking of that, right, what keeps you going then, right? When you talk about these things, you're obviously a deep thinker. What keeps you going then?
I think what keeps me going is my family, friends, and I think God too. So I think
Mm,
all those things play a part in making me go far.
okay, okay. So you believe in God.
Yeah, I do.
Nice, and that's strong within your that keeps you going or whatever.
Yeah, because just everything in everything. I think it's just got to be everything I have.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Going back to
yeah.
Shane, right? So speaking of the early death rates or whatever, when did you find out about that, right? When did you learn that, oh wow, this disease is fatal, right?
I think doctor he told me straight up that like I would only be able to live like 19 years, and that's what they said, and that's how I learned. Yeah,
Wait, when
yeah.
was this? When did the doctor tell you that?
Oh, I think I was like 8 years old. They told me it like that. Yeah, I
Your
told.
doctor was so you're 8 years old and your doctor said, hey, you're gonna wow,
He
okay.
said he
Okay.
said most likely yeah you're gonna pass away at 19 years of age.
Hey, but you're still here. But you're still
Yeah, yeah,
here. Let's go.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy though. I can't believe
yeah. I
that.
think that traumatized me a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's 8 years old.
yeah,
So how did you take that when you're 8 years old?
yeah. I really hated life. I remember crying to my mom, and I told her like life's not fair. So I remember, yeah, I was just I was a very angry kid, I think,
Mm,
because of, everything that was going on, because I was frustrated that, I couldn't play sports, I couldn't walk like everyone else. And so I think all those things and, the doctor telling me, I won't live long. I think those things really affected, my life.
yeah. So then, what would you say if you were an angry person back then? What has made you positive? Because you're really positive now, right? I mean, you would say you're really positive now, right?
Yeah.
What made you become that positive person?
You know what I think is I had a lot of mentors throughout my life, and then they were always there for me. I liked how they, while they care for me, they didn't feel like sorry for me. And so I think that really shaped me. And I also saw like people, they had their own struggles too, and realized, they were happy too. So in my head, I was like, if they can be happy in their situations, I should be able to be happy too. And another thing I think that really shaped me is realizing that, I'm not alone. I could be the one that helps others, that may have gone through the same experience as me. And so, I could be like a guide to them. Like, now we have Instagram. And so, you get to meet a lot of people, with Duchenne. And so I think, I could be that person. I could be that role model for someone with Duchenne too.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I think that you have a lot of um, good advice. Which perhaps maybe I'm gonna, I got an idea for you. All right, we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. We'll talk about that. But I got an idea for you. But I think that yeah, you have a lot of good advice for people with Duchenne. So you are a good role model, and I think that's we need to help each other within this community. We need to support each other. We need to encourage each other. We need to keep each other positive. We need to share advice. We need to do all these things to just better the
Yeah.
community, you know?
Definitely. We gotta.
Losing your ability to walk, you frustrated. Your doctor told you when you're 8 years old about
Yeah.
the early death rates, but you're still here. So, whatever, doctor.
Yeah.
Um, how about arm strength, right? How does, your arms getting weaker, how does that, how did that impact you? When did that start happening?
I think arm getting weaker. I think it's just been gradually. It's been getting weaker, and so I don't think it's been too bad because since with you could use with all the technology we have, using a computer, it really doesn't affect me because yeah, I can't really type anymore, but I use like an on-screen keyboard, and so that really helps. And so I don't think I took getting my arms getting weaker in a bad way or anything because I think I was past that stage where I wanted to walk. That was different because when I lost my ability to walk, I think that was really tough. And so when I lost strength in my arm, I don't think it really affected me as much. So,
Mm,
yeah,
yeah. So you took that kind of you took that differently than walking, right?
yeah, and also I think I've gotten over like the reality of Duchenne. And so yeah, I think that's what really.
So acceptance then, accepting the reality has made you better able to deal with it then.
Yeah, I think just realizing that there's no point in complaining that my arms are getting weaker.
Yes,
All I had to do is just make sure that I live life to the fullest. So I think that's
100%.
what helps me. Yeah.
Complaining doesn't solve a thing.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I really, once again, I really like your answer. It seems like every person I interview, and just thinking about myself, it's like Duchenne creates a philosophy. I swear, there's a whole philosophy that going through the experience of your muscles getting weaker and
Hmm.
wheelchair, the judgment, um, all the stuff, all the adversity that people with Duchenne have to face, it creates a beautiful philosophy because I see so many similarities with every person I talk to with the disease.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it, in a way, creates warriors in a way.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Um, where do you see yourself in the next few years? Dream job, friends, family, I don't know, anything that you want to accomplish, any goals you got in the next few years?
I think it would be to get more speaking opportunities. But at the moment, I think what I have to focus on is, resting a little bit because, with Duchenne, my energy hasn't been as like, as good as it used to be. And so, but I think I just gonna rest and then from there, just go from there, because I think sometimes like yeah, it's good to be ambitious, but you also need to rest a few times, and then from there, I think, yeah, I would focus more on like speaking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you definitely have to balance the two. I would definitely agree. You have to, charge yourself up so that you can be super ambitious, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. You gotta,
Charge yourself up and then go for it again, So here's the
yeah, yeah.
thing. Okay, cool, cool, cool. What do you hate most about the Shane? If there's one single thing, right, that you say, "Oh, I hate this the most," what would that be?
I think I think the thing I hate the worst is that I'm not gonna get any better. I think in that way, yeah, like yeah, I gotten over it, but I think that still is the worst part because every day, my muscles could be getting weaker, and I think another thing, yeah, that I don't like is the fact that what people keep bringing up the lifespan, and I think that is kind of yeah, that kind of annoys me in a way.
That
Yeah,
the statistics of your life being kind of shortened, basically, right?
yeah, I think so.
How does that make you feel though? Is it more of a frustration, a sadness? Like, what's the emotion, right?
It's just kind of like it's hard to explain, but I think it's just more annoyance because they just keep bringing it up. Like oh, you might not live long, so they feel people start feeling sorry for me, and yeah, I think that's kind of tough because I don't really feel sorry for myself. Just living life.
100%, 100%. Well, so we think a lot alike here, right? This is really good. I want to get at this. I want to really exhaust this
Yeah,
point. So
definitely.
you
Let's do
don't feel
this.
sorry for yourself. I don't feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Let's go. My other question though is, what do you do? Like when people feel bad for you, right? When they pity you, how do you take that? Because I despise pity.
For me, I just tell them, life's actually good. Yeah, yeah, and I also see, people that can walk, and they're not living happy either. Like, I always remind them it's not, you know, what you can do that affects your happiness. It's how you feel about yourself that determines happiness, not the external factors. So that's what I basically tell them.
Happiness is eternal, internal.
Yeah, internal, not based on the circumstance. Yeah, if that was, there's no way we could be happy, but I am, so.
That is like some really deep philosophy. Like that's like ancient philosophers have said this, and like that is just really, really good stuff. I totally agree with you. Like, yeah, happiness comes from within. It's not based off the external because the external is always changing. And if you base it off the external, it's going to be very unstable. Your happiness is going to be up and down because the external always changes. But internal, you can always
Yeah.
control it, and that makes it stable. And that's why you can always be generally happy.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Um, on the positive side, right? How has Duchenne, or how has Destroy Duchenne made you feel?
Are you talking about your Destroy Duchenne?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I like it a lot, because you're in charge of it. So, and I think you really have that drive that we all people with Duchenne should have. So yeah, I think yeah, I like that. And I also like Duchenne. We do have to find a cure for it at the same time. Like yeah, of course I'm enjoying my life right now, but then I think you still need to find a cure while we're at it. So
yeah, 100%. And that's basically the whole goal, right? Is to
yeah,
complete the cure for the disease. 100%. Um, how would a how does possible cures and stuff like that make you feel?
I think it does make me feel good because Duchenne, there's some disabilities, that can't be cured, but I know with Duchenne, it can because it's just a genetic, and so I think it makes me excited. But at the same time, I think something about like finding a cure is, if there's gonna be a cure, I hope it's accessible for everyone, because a lot of times, you know, it costs a lot at first, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I think yeah, but I generally feel happy about it because you know, I personally like, I wouldn't want someone to have Duchenne, like a kid, like in the future when we can actually find a cure,
Yeah, you don't want people. So basically, you don't want other people to experience this disease.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely not. But obviously, if they get the disease, I think they'll be fine, like we are now. But I wouldn't want that for anyone.
And,
Yeah.
and and how come though? Like, I mean, we kind of talked about this, but why wouldn't you want someone to have this disease? What would really comes to mind when you go, okay, this kid may have it. Why wouldn't you want the kid to have it?
Oh, so why I wouldn't want them to have it?
Mm,
I guess I think when I think about it, it is hard on the parents. I mean, that when you think about it, it's a lot of yeah, it is a toll in a way because knowing that we could go before our parents, I think that's just the hardest part.
yeah, because parents don't want to. It's very tough for a parent to lose a child.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because the natural order of things is that the parents are supposed to pass away first. Not us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate. I watched my brother pass away and my parents' reaction to that, and all the sadness and devastation that it brought them, and just that whole experience. I could totally tell you that, yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like anything else, like anyone like with Duchenne, like I think anyone can be happy if they had Duchenne, but I think the way it impacts parents, I think that's what would be the biggest concern.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
I'm living life, to the fullest either way. But for parents, that might be the opposite.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely got to be hard on parents. I really love your uh, selflessness attitude. I mean, you're not even thinking about yourself. You're thinking about your parents. You're thinking about other people. Um, that's inspiring, and that's a good role model for everybody. I think is going to be less selfish.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate that.
Um, we kind of went over this a lot, but I want to just ask this question: how do you think, or no, do you think that Deshane has made you a better person?
I think it does. I think it has because I think it made me realize, life. A lot of people have their own struggles, and so we need to be there for each other. Not just people with Duchenne, just anyone with that's gone through hard times. I think that's what made me realize that no one's life is easy, so we've got to be there for each other. And so I think it has made me a better person in that way.
So you're saying like adversity, right, makes people better in general, right? That suffering, that adversity, those challenges, that makes you a better person.
I think it's more like I can better understand others because people understand that I've gone through some hardships in life, and so I notice a lot of those people, they're very open, to share their life with me, and so I think that's really the most important thing.
Mm, definitely, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Um, what do you want? Well, yeah, what do you want other people to know, to understand about this disease?
I think the biggest thing I want people to understand is, I guess, don't feel so much pity for us, but just I think what they need to do is work to, be supportive of us, being by supporting our ambitions, and our dreams. I think that's the most important thing I could tell people.
Hmm. So basically, just treat us like everybody else, and be there to encourage and support, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, that's a unique answer. That's a unique answer for sure. Um, has Deshane made it harder to, hang out with friends or anything like, that has it made it harder to do things that are somewhat taken for granted by a lot of people?
Yeah, I think it is because sometimes when I go out, like I'm too tired to go out, and then sometimes places aren't accessible, and so I think it is a little tough. But thankfully, I have friends that understand that, and so they don't take it personal. And so yeah, I think yeah, it does make it harder, but thankfully I had friends that understand. Yeah,
Okay, okay. I'm glad that you do have friends that understand. That's really good. Sounds like you have some great friends. Um,
yeah,
when you
definitely.
do hang out with your friends or whatever, what do you guys like to do together?
Usually we just eat at a restaurant and like chill, kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Yeah,
like that. I like that. Get that pasta.
yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any last words or anything that you want to talk about? Before we end the podcast, we kind of covered a lot of stuff. Is there anything that you want to talk about or bring up? Anything?
I think yeah, I think we covered everything.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
and
cool.
yeah,
I want to get you on another podcast if you're cool with that. I want to do another
yeah,
one.
definitely. Yeah, of course.
Awesome, awesome. Maybe have you on with some younger people that have Deshane or whatever, and kind of have a group conversation. I think that'd be really cool. But um, so the way we end the podcast, right, is we say the official slogan of Destroy Duchenne, which is complete the cure.
Okay,
So on a three, two, one, we're both going to say complete the cure. All right.
okay, let's do it.
All right. Three, two, one. Complete.
Complete the cure.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Destroy to Shane podcast with my man, Paul. It's been a great interview. If you want to learn more, you can listen to other podcasts on destroytoshane.org. Go to podcasts, listen to all the other ones. Listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places. Follow us on social media, Destroy to Shane, and stay up to date with all the stuff that we're doing. We're doing a lot of stuff. So thank you so much for listening and complete the care.